Get ready to guzzle or gag in the ultimate beer battle of tastes. Join us as we sip, savor, and sometimes spit our way through the world's most talked about brews. Let's get pouring and exploring.
Hey, welcome to Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Shagdog is here. This is a special drinking and thinking episode of the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. You can hear lots of fireworks in the background, and my dear old mother who got deathly sick in Florida. You might pick her up on the gain on this microphone there is so good. Downstairs hacking. Told her she should go to the hospital, but you know how people are. I'm probably going to take her tomorrow. My stepfather won't take her, so I might take her to the hospital. She was doing better today though, but then past couple hours she's been hacking a lot. No fever or anything though, so blood pressure is lower than it usually is. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But anyhow, let's get into this one. Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Those we lost in 2024. These might not be all the favorite people that you know, but most of them are, part of my lives, either people I watched or somewhat watched or all that stuff. Matter of fact, I looked through this list and there was one I had to go double verify. I was like, I didn't hear about that one because I just saw him on something back in September, and I guess he died a month later. But anyhow, let's get into this list. People we lost. I mean, this might not be a complete list. Might not even have all the people I think if I just kind of Googled it real quick and just going through ones I know. A couple names that might be familiar. I'm just going to skip if I don't know who they are. Number one, Toby Keith, country music star. Red Solo Cup. I Want to Talk About Me. All those great songs he did. Died, age of 62. Cancer. One of the more recent public pictures that he had. Didn't look too good, but yeah, I've seen that before. People I know have had cancer, so that are on their way out. So sad. Quincy Jones, famous music producer, produced a Thriller album, 28 Grammy Awards, died on November 3rd at the age of 91. So he lived a long life. I'm missing a lot of people on here. Bob Newhart, of course, comedy legend, 94. So a lot of these guys made it to their late ages. President Jimmy Carter died a few days ago. 100 years old. Not the greatest president, probably not the worst in the last 50 years, but probably the second worst. But a great humanitarian and always strived for peace with the whole Egyptian-Israel thing. Anwar Sadat, whoever the Israeli prime minister was back then. And of course, he did the Panama Canal Treaty, which I think he gave too much back. I think we should have still kept two bases on each side of the canal. Give control of the canal fine over to the Panamanians, but we should have had two bases left there still, I think. We the ones, of course, more immigrants died, and Panamanians and Haitians and Irish immigrants and all the Indians and died building that canal. But it was U.S. taxpayer dollars that built it, most likely, or U.S. Treasury. And we should have kept something there because now, anyhow, the whole new president thing going on about, and Panamanians they do charge a lot to go through there, and they have a bidding system. So some richer country could outbid while you're in line waiting for a boat. Someone way in the back could outbid to get to the front of the line, which is kind of stupid. But anyhow, also I'm drinking Yingling, the king of beers, the real American beers, right? American owned. Yeah. All right, next. Well, God bless Jimmy Carter, though. I know even his days up until probably, 5-10 years ago, he was still traveling, doing peace emissaries type things. He went to Haiti, I know, at one time, Korea way back, just different stuff like that. So I think Jimmy is definitely in heaven. he had a good heart. He meant well. Dexter Scott King, Martin Luther King's son. His youngest son, I don't know if that's the last living child of Martin Luther King. He is only 62 years old. James Earl Jones, the iconic voice of Darth Vader, and of course did Simba's father in The Lion King, many other things. Yeah, James Earl, especially his character in Conan, Thulsa Doom, and also I think he added a little bit of goodness because it was a crappy movie per se, The Exorcist Part 2, but with him in there, and I mean it wasn't the greatest story, but with him and I forget the other guy's name that was in there, made it a better movie. Shelley Duvall, I think I probably only seen 2 of her movies, right? Popeye and The Shining. I didn't even know she was in Twin Peaks. Anybody else know that? Thelma and Louise with Shelley. This is probably wrong. All right. Other people that died, athletes, Carl Weathers. God, listen to those fireworks. Bill Walton, basketball great. Willie Mays. Pete Rose. Look at it. It's just like an all-star list. Dikembe Mutombo. I didn't even know he died. I wonder if that's accurate. I'm getting this from AI, so let's Google that, see if he actually died. Damn. Did Dikembe Mutombo die? Yeah, he died. I didn't even hear about that one. That's another one I didn't hear about. When did he die? What month was that? Trying to see when that was. I didn't know. He died. Wow. Died September 30th. So I don't know if that was around the time we had, because there's another one on here, that whole September going in October thing when we had Hurricane Helene here. I didn't have internet, cable, had a bad reception from it was a horrible time. I didn't have I'm probably missing out on a lot of stuff there. So Dikembe Mutombo. Recently, Ricky Hernandez, possibly a lot of people consider him the greatest hit-off player, number one hitter, the leadoff hitter is what I meant, and the most steals in baseball, right? 66 years old. He was still, last I saw him, he was still in pretty good shape for a 66-year-old, but that just always proves it doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in. And then the other one that surprised me, I just found out about this, is Fernando Valenzuela. I just saw him doing some baseball thing with the Dodgers. Was that during the World Series? I thought he had something with the World Series. And then he died in October. So Fernando Valenzuela. Yeah, October 22nd, 2024. He passed away. And he was at the World Series with the Dodgers against the Yankees. He threw out one of the pitches. What the hell did he die of? It's weird, Fernando Mania, yeah. Trying to look at his. Before Game 1 of the World Series, fans left flower. Oh, I guess he did die before the World Series. Okay, I thought he threw out. Oh, he died 3. Maybe it was during the. I don't know. I thought I saw him throwing out some ball. Maybe it was during the NL Championship or something. Died age 63, 3 days before the World Series. Doesn't say how he died, though. 63, though, another one. Not very old. Not very old at all. Now, another sport I like is wrestling entertainment, sports entertainment. A lot of wrestlers died this year. Old school wrestlers. Sid Udy, also known as Sid Vicious or Psycho Sid or Sid Justice, passed away at age 63. The Wild Samoans, both of them, Sika and Afa, died. I forget which one died first. I think Sika, then Afa, died like 2 months later or something. Basically, the famous Hanoi wrestling family, The Rock. His father, Rocky Johnson, was married to one of their sisters or something, nieces or something. Current wrestlers, all the bloodline, they're all related. A lot of wrestlers. Tanya Kid, Rikishi, what was the other guy's name? Umaga, all of them. So yeah, both brothers died. That was horrible. Virgil, also known as I forget his other name, Vincent, when he was in WCW, he was with the $1 Million Man, his like chauffeur type guy. He passed away in 2024. Ole Anderson, one of the original Four Horsemen, also a promoter, died. Somebody else passed away, but they don't have them listed there. And then also you got Tito Jackson of the Jacksons passed away. Greg Gumbel passed away a couple days ago on the 27th. Dickie Betts died, guitarist, member of the Allman Brothers. David Soul, Starsky and Hutch fame, and Salem's Lot. James Kotak, drummer of Scorpions. I believe he was in the Kingdom Come back in the 80s also. He wasn't in the Scorpions last couple of years, though, because of his addictions, apparently, or something. But hey, what can you do? There's quite a few more. It's not on this list that I know that's out there because I've seen the list. A lot of actors and even younger people, famous, old, and young, that have passed away. Chris Christopherson, John Amos, Phil Donahue. I'm just going to go through his list real quick. I mentioned a couple of them already. Shannon Doherty, Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth, Donald Sutherland, O.J. Simpson, Louis Gossett Jr. I'm glad to see. I didn't like the show at all, but the Watchmen show on HBO a few years ago, back 2019, 2020, whenever it was, which is kind of a weird show if you watch it because the whole mask thing. I'm glad to see him in that. He had a little small part in that show, and that was pretty good. Joe Lieberman, famous Democratic presidential nominee. Steve Lawrence, is that the same Steve Lawrence? I don't know. No. Different I know. We mentioned them. That's about all I got. A lot of people died this year. It was another big year. I think it outdid last year. This year I was looking at all the stars that were passing away, and by June or July I was like, wow, this isn't really too bad of a year. But I think between June and July up to now, I was like, okay, yeah, consider it a landmark year. Not quite as big as 2020, 2021, 2022, but I think it beat 2023. And these dudes lighting off fireworks like fucking crazy. What the fuck? Waste that money. Sorry for my language. Yeah, so I got one more mixed drink to do. It's 10:27 right now, so we got about an hour and a half. I do my one more mixed drink, and then we'll just do a final video. Whenever I start it, we'll run all the way through midnight, maybe a little bit past midnight. So, those we lost. And what's even worse, more than those that we lost, as far as celebrities and people that you watch, and There's another wrestler I was thinking of too that passed away, but he wasn't on that list, but I can't think of him right now. Oh, Kevin Sullivan, another one. Another wrestler there and a promoter or whatever they call him. Yeah. So a lot of people passed this year, but what's worse than all that is actually family members or close friends that have passed in your life. Celebrities, whatever, yeah. But only one's going to remember them next year or 10 years from now is their immediate family. That's usually the only ones who remember you after a couple years or many years after you pass away. I mean, I'm not saying people don't remember you, friends or coworkers, whatever, but you're not on their mind every day. Your close relatives, close friends, you might be on their mind every day, but hey, there you go. After your kids and your grandkids pass away, might be lucky if your great grandkids know you. Then after that, yeah, you're just not even a memory on Earth. So unless you left something really big behind, like electricity or stuff like that. Yeah. Or the album Thriller. All right, this is what happens when you celebrate New Year's Eve on 4 hours of sleep, folks. You don't get a good show. And you get loud fireworks in the background. Yeah. Anyhow, Spitter Swallow Beer Review. We'll do another mixed drink, and then we'll get into the rest of the rockin' in the New Year's with Shagdog. Thanks for watching the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.